By the late summer of 1977, humanity was preparing to leave its first permanent message in the interstellar medium. A committee chaired by astronomer Carl Sagan was finalizing the contents of the Voyager Golden Record, an audiovisual time capsule bound for the outer solar system. They faced a daunting translation problem. The team needed to invent a map and a timeline that an extraterrestrial civilization could easily decode without relying on a single word of human language. The solution they found was hidden in the most abundant element in the universe. When a hydrogen atom's electron flips its spin, it emits a radio wave at a highly specific, unchanging frequency, exactly 1420 megahertz. This natural metronome established the mathematical foundation for the geometric pulsar map etched onto the record's cover. But the message attached to that map was subject to intense political pressure from the United States government. Sagan's committee was forced to omit all depictions of war, disease, crime, and poverty. Even basic photographs of human anatomy were vetoed by NASA leadership to avoid controversy. The resulting golden record was a highly curated, conflict-free illusion of human civilization. It was a functioning lie, engineered strictly to make a good first impression. And then a strange historical irony happened. Just 5 days before Voyager launched this meticulously sanitized 1420 megahertz introduction into space, the universe produced its own massive radio burst at 1420 megahertz. On August 15, 1977, the Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio detected a massive 72-second narrowband radio anomaly sweeping across its sensors. Astronomers were baffled by a staggering synchronicity. The signal was measured squarely on the 1420 megahertz hydrogen line. For decades, SETI researchers pointed increasingly sensitive telescopes back at those coordinates in the constellation Sagittarius. They found nothing but complete silence. That silence held until the 2025 Arecibo WOW project recovered decades of unpublished archival data to perform a modern autopsy on the detection. This chart shows the true scale of the event. While early estimates placed the signal's strength around 54 Janskis, the recovered data revealed a massive peak exceeding 250 Janskis, clocked precisely at 1420.726 megahertz. This high-fidelity data finally allowed scientists to strip away the idea of an alien transmitter and begin modeling a natural astrophysical cause. The Arecibo team proposed a groundbreaking hypothesis. The anomaly was a rare astronomical event called a maser flare, originating from a cold, dormant hydrogen cloud. If a distant magnetar emitted a sudden pulse of energy, it could temporarily stimulate the hydrogen cloud. That stimulation forces the cloud to release a massive, tightly focused burst of radio waves. This specific, highly improbable sequence of natural events produces a narrow-band radio signature that perfectly mimics an artificial, targeted alien beacon. Even with the physics explained, the paradox remains. The universe generated a flawless cosmic mimic on the precise 1420 megahertz frequency, exactly when we were trying to define our own species by it. Astronomer and internet pioneer Jacques Vallée has spent decades rejecting the standard extraterrestrial explanation for these kinds of events, favoring what he calls high strangeness. Within his interdimensional hypothesis, Vallée describes a trickster element to the universe. He argues that anomalies are intelligent, but they are intentionally confounding. Instead of visitors from another planet, he suggests the phenomenon acts as a control mechanism. It interacts with the very edges of human perception to challenge the rigid structures of reality we build for ourselves. According to Vallée, these anomalies are not meant to hand us straightforward answers. They function as semiotic mirrors, designed to reflect and subvert our cultural and technological assumptions. When viewed through Vallée's lens, the 5-day gap between the WOW signal and the Voyager launch becomes the defining data point. In this framework, the signal's refusal to repeat is exactly how a control mechanism would respond to humanity's attempt to define itself. Humanity had just constructed a sanitized, idealized lie, bound it to the hydrogen mine, and hurled it into the void, hoping someone was listening. In response, The universe generated a perfectly timed, unrepeatable natural flare on that exact frequency. It gave us the response we desperately sought, only to snatch it away into decades of silence. We are left with the possibility of an interactive cosmos, one that reflects our own illusions and expectations back at us.